now I am going to move forward and demonstrate to you the sort of advanced data types present in Python by the name of list, set, tuple and dictionary. As a matter of fact, if you are serious about your Python development career, then the list, set, tuple and dictionary data types will be your bread and butter. How well you understand a list, set, tuple and dictionary in Python in many ways is going to decide how efficient or how inefficient a programmer you are going to become, and we will certainly be spending enough time deep diving into these concepts so that you can understand it in its entirety. That is my promise to you and my commitment to you. However, now what I am going to speak about will not be the in-depth perspective of list, set, tuple and dictionary. First I want you to get a feeler of what a list looks like, what a set looks like, what a tuple looks like, what a dictionary looks like. I want you to get that feeler. So what does it really look like, Rohit, if you ask me? Let me just show you. Like this, I will bring up all the necessary screens which I require. This is my script, this is my output window, and this certainly is my, okay, so that has not been shown, that is fine. Watch it all of you. Here, I will just begin by creating, or 1 second, now before I even type. So far, if you have noticed, all the types of data that we have spoken about have stored only a single value, isn't it? A single integer we stored, a single floating point number we stored, a single complex number, a single string, a single boolean value. All these containers so far were storing only a single value, friends. But now, whatever list, set, tuple and dictionary I am speaking about, these are containers which can store multiple values at the same time. What do you mean if you ask me? Let us assume I want to store a list of ages like this. For example, maybe I will tell 23 and 56 and maybe I will tell 70 or 78, fine, random numbers I am just typing out, 45 and maybe I will also tell 13 like this. Now I want to store these numbers as a collection of data, not within individual variables like 23 within A, 56 within B, 78 within C, D, E, like this I don't want to store. I want it to be stored as a collection of data, as a list of values. How does one do that? Very simple. You must enclose this values which is separated by commas, you must enclose it within something. What should I enclose it? Within brackets. What kind of brackets? These brackets, square brackets, you should enclose it. And I will give a name to this maybe. I will just call the name as LST like this, short for list. Even lists are objects in Python. Of course, now you know there is a heap, there is a stack. Every time I need not show it. For simplicity of representation, what I am going to do is, I am going to show it like this, wherein this is my list of values. This is my list of values. Within this, 23, 56, 78, 45, 13 I have stored. Here also, 23, 56, 78 and of course, this is also an object. So, I am just showing it this way. It also has an address. Within this, these values are stored. That is what I am just showing like this, values are stored. Any confusion? And certainly, this LST is also a reference. That reference is also there like this. That reference is also there. What is there inside this reference? This 1000 comes and sits within LST, which means LST is now referring to this object. That is what you must understand. But like I said, for simplicity of representation, every time when I speak about a list, I am not going to show that it is an object. I don't want to show that it has an address. I don't want to show that this reference contains the same address. Instead, I will just remove all this and in a very simple way, I would like to represent it like this, which conveys the same thing, isn't it? You already know the concept. Now, friends, I want to print the contents of this list. How am I going to do that? Just watch it like this. I will just tell print, okay, that also I have removed. I will just tell print LST like this. I will tell print LST. I will tell. Now, if in case I were to execute this, so watch it. I will go to my command prompt, and if in case I just execute it, and if I press enter, you can see that that one name list or LST has produced a list of values for you. Not just a single value, a list of values. I hope till here there is no confusion in your minds. Is this a list? Can you prove that the type is list if you ask me? Definitely I can. You can do it yourself if you want. You know how to find the type. Just tell type. Type of what do you want to know? Type of this LST is what I want to know. I want to know the type of LST. And of course, you must print it if you ever have the expectation of it appearing here. So I will put it within print like this. I will just put it within print. Great. Once this is done, I am going to again print it. If in case I execute it like this, watch it. If I just execute it and press enter, then as per our expectation, class is list or the type of LST is list. As simple as that. I hope I am clear till here. Well, going further, let us assume, or I have spoken a lot now. I have spoken about complex, I have spoken about Boolean, I have also spoken about list. Now, just take 30 seconds. Just take 30 seconds and just review whatever I said to you. Just review it for 30 seconds because I want everyone to completely absorb whatever I am saying. So just take 30 seconds, close your eyes and just quickly review what is a data type, the different types of data we have seen and how we arrived at the concept of a list. Just quickly let it run in your mind. List of values. Python has allowed me to store that list of values. But if you look at the type of values present within this list, you would see all of them are of what type? They are integers. Yes. This entire container as a whole is a list, but individually the data present within the list 13, 45, 78, 56, 23, all of them are integers. So if in case some of you are under the impression that you can only and only create a collection of values of the same type within a list, you are highly mistaken. The technical word for a collection of values of similar type is only called as heterogeneous data. I am sure computer science students would have heard this word before. Heterogeneous means what? Collection of data of the same type. But we are not in a position today, in today's world, to only store values of the same type, isn't it? See, just take your own data as an example. You are a student or a working professional, doesn't matter what you are. Don't you think your name is a string, your age is an integer, your weight is a floating point number, your marital status is either true or false, which is a Boolean value. Don't you think when you yourself are a collection of dissimilar data or mixed type of data, or the technical word being heterogeneous data, naturally as a programmer you would require a facility to store heterogeneous data? Can list provide you that functionality? Definitely it can. Just let me show that, watch it. So let me just bring back the screen, and here I am going to store a heterogeneous collection of values like this, watch it. Maybe I will begin by telling 10, which is an integer, comma 99.9, which is a floating point number, comma within double quotes a string, Python, so this is a string value, comma maybe also a Boolean value which is true like this, and I have told you T must always be capital. Any confusion till here? Now I want this to be stored as a list of heterogeneous values. Can I do that? Yes, very simple. Put brackets like this. That is what I am going to do. Enclose it within square brackets. I will give a name to it. Maybe I will call it as LST. And you know, if I have to represent it pictorially for you, then this is how it would look like. and I'm not showing the address, the fact that it is an object, etc. Definitely this time within the list, I have a collection of heterogeneous data like this. An integer, a floating point number, a string and a boolean value. I hope till here things are clear. And the name of course is LST. What else, Rohit, you might ask? Now very simple. If in case I want to print the value of this list, all I'm going to do is I will just tell print LST like this. And now if in case I just execute this, then please watch it, friends. If I go here and if in case I just give it as input to my interpreter, then this is how it would look like. Press enter and yes, it is definitely storing heterogeneous data. The type this time, just because you stored heterogeneous data, don't think it is going to become some other type. It is still a list, my friends. So like this, I am just going to type the, I'm going to just print the type. So I'll tell type of LST, and since it should appear here, I will put it within print this way. If I do this much, and if in case I just execute it, then as you guys can see, I will just go here, and if in case I re-execute the program and press enter, this time also without a doubt, it is still a list. Any confusion till this point of time? Yes, so you have understood till here. What else, you might ask? Well, let me tell you, a list is not only a collection of either homogeneous or heterogeneous. It can be a combination of either similar type or dissimilar or mixed type, no problem. Not only that, the keyword which you must always keep at the back of your mind is that it is an ordered collection of data. It is a sequential collection of data, which means, my friends, for every individual element present in a list, they have given a positional value to show you that it is ordered, to show you that it is in sequence. This is the first element, second element, third element, fourth element. This sequence is maintained, but the positional value or the number given to each element does not begin from 1, my friends. In programming, many a times, the index value or the positional value always begins from 0. Really, if you ask me, just watch it. That is what I am also just showing here. 0, 1, 2 and 3. Any confusion till here? Of course, if you ask me, why does it start from 0? Then I have to explain to you a little bit of time and space complexity analysis, because of which they have selected this to be 0. That is the main reason, so that few operations internally can become faster. Maybe this is a little out of the scope of the discussion here. Soon after this Python course, I would be launching my own data structures and algorithms course using Python, which is aimed at allowing a student to get placed or get the knowledge to get placed in product-based companies such as Amazon, Facebook, Google and many other companies, product-based companies, because DSA, or short for data structures and algorithms, is the most looked out for skill set by any employer, especially from a fresher. That is the difference between getting a 3 lakh salary and a 12 lakh salary, is your knowledge of data structures and algorithms. So it is in that course that I can speak about all this, but anyways, we are learning Python. Now let us not get diverted from it. Coming back to the concept, please understand. Now, when you tell print LST, the entire list gets printed. But if you want, you can individually also access elements within a list. You can do that. Individual access is possible. How? Very simple, using the positional value. Do you want to know how you can do this? Very simple. Watch it, friends, like this. And sorry, one most important point I forgot. In Python, not only have they given positional values which is positive in nature, they have also given positional values in the negative sense, which means the last element is -1, -2, -3, -4. Negative indexes are also there in Python. Now you might be wondering, what is the use of a negative index? We will be exploring that in the future, but please remember, positive positional values are also there, negative positional values are also there. if you want to access an individual element, let me show you. This is how you can do. You can first tell the name of the list, which is LST, isn't it? In LST, you want to access one particular element, put square brackets, and within that square brackets, mention the position of that particular value, of that particular, element you want to access. If I tell 0, then see LST of 0, which element is there? 10. 10 is what you get access to. Of course, if you want it to come here, appear here, you must print it. But it is not always necessary that you have to print it. You can do many things with this value, but first you should be able to access it. But I am just doing a simple operation of printing it, so I will put it within print like this. I will put it within print. That is what I am just showing. I will put it within print. If in case I do this, my friends, and if in case I re-execute my program, I want you to observe like this. If I just clear the screen, because there's a lot of things, and if I re-execute, press enter, then you have got access to a single element, which is 10. Now, if you want proof that not only can you access it using the positive positional value, you can also access it using the negative positional value, then watch it like this. I will just go back, I will tell LST square brackets, and this time I will tell -4, because 10 can be accessed using 0 also, -4 also. Would you agree with me? Anyways, to appear I should print it, so I am just going to print it like this. I will put it within print. Now, if in case I re-execute it, then watch it like this. If I press enter, I have, okay, let me first clear the screen. If I first execute it, then 10 is what you have got. So, LST of 0 is also 10. LST of -4 is also 10. Any confusion till here, my friends? I hope you have been able to think till here. Alright, so some of you are asking, can I give any other name other than LST? My friends, it is just a name. If you want, you give your name, you give my name, you give whosever name you want. It is just a name. You can give whatever you want, right? So definitely that is possible. And some of you are asking, please can you explain how to install Python? Do not worry about it. The moment today I will show you how to create an account in our LMS. There I have given a PDF document with a step-by-step procedure as to how you should be installing Python. Just refer that, and in any operating system easily you will be able to install Python and other necessary softwares required. Even otherwise, if you don't even have to wait for me, because you are living in the Google generation. It is after all one search how to install Python. I am sure you can also do it, because on one end you want to become software developers. I think the basic expectation from a software developer is that he should be able to figure out how to install a software. So think about it. Anyways, now let us continue with the concept. Now some of you will be thinking, great, I can store homogeneous data, I can store heterogeneous data, but can I, if I need to, add another element to my list? Can I modify and add another element to my list? Is modification possible? Definitely it is possible. Let us assume I want to store one value 200 like this. How to do it if you ask me? 200 is what you want to store. If you want to store 200, then please understand, you must be putting that 200 and telling this 200, please add it to the end of my list. That is what you want to say. If you want 200 to be added to the end of your list, then what you must do is an operation called as append. How to do it? Like this. Just put 200 within brackets like this and tell append like this. I hope I'm clear. Append is what I will tell. But where do you want to append it to? You want to append it to, or you want to insert it at the end of a list called as LST. So I will tell LST dot append of 200 like this. I will tell. Watch it. LST dot I will tell. Any confusion till there? So the better way to read it is, to my list called as LST, go inside it, dot means go inside it, and append a value called as 200. Append means what? Inserting at the end. Will that happen? Definitely it will happen. Like this, 200 gets added, and obviously even the index positions will change because you've added an extra element. Now this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. So like this, 200 gets stored. Any confusion till here? Now what I'm going to do is, I want to print it and show you that really it has happened. So let me just print it. Like this, I will tell print, and what I want to print is my list called as LST, and if in case I do this, and if in case I execute it like this, then please observe, I'll just go here, and if I re-execute it, press enter, then first time there was no 200, but now 200 has got appended. Any confusion till here, friends? Now watch it. What I have to do is, I showed you can add an element certainly. Can you remove it? Is that modification possible? Definitely it is possible. How to remove it? Very simple. Watch it. Like this, I will just tell 200 is what I want to remove this time. But to add you told append. But this time you must tell remove like this, and I will put it within brackets. And 200 should be removed from where? My list called as LST. So I will just tell LST dot remove of 200. Like this I will tell. Any confusion till this point of time? Now, really will 200 get removed? Certainly. Like this 200 would get removed, which is what I am also just showing, and accordingly even the index positions would change. Now if you want proof for that, watch it. I will just print my list again after removal. So I will just go back, and here I will just print it. So I will just print, what I want to print is my same list called as LST. If in case after this I execute it, then watch it. If I execute it, I will first clear the screen, and if in case I execute and I press enter, you can see 200 which had got appended has definitely got removed. So you can not only store homogeneous data, store heterogeneous data, store it in an ordered or sequential manner, you can also modify it by adding elements and removing elements. Such a data type which gives you the ability of modification is only called as a mutable data type. Mutation means change. A data type which allows change is called as a mutable data type. And is list mutable in nature? Definitely. I hope I am clear till here. But if you think this is all you as a Python programmer has to know about a list, you are highly mistaken. There are so many features in a list which we should be exploring. One by one, each and every one I will help you understand. But right now, I am just giving you an overview of the different types of lists or different types of data types in Python. So, this is what I have spoken.